Hello and welcome to Stropharia Productions Podcast, Episode 2, featuring our friend Matt. Thank you and enjoy.
Okay, so do you want to talk about how you came to me with the project Bedlamite, or?
Yeah, talk about Bedlamite for a little bit. While I was in school for audio engineering with some of my film classes, I had to do a video project, and I didn't want to just do something kind of same old what everybody else in class was doing. So I've always wanted to do a short film, especially a horror short. So I took advantage of the situation, and I met you at the restaurant we were working at, and I was like, dude, we should definitely do this short film. But there was absolutely no budget whatsoever to the short film.
No budget?
No budget. We shot that on a handy cam. And as you guys watch it, you will definitely see the footage is a little handy. But it was still a lot of fun to do. And even with my buddy Johnny that was in it, I didn't necessarily script the short film. I just I would meet with Johnny before we shot whatever scene, and I would just explain to him, this is what I'm after. This is what I want you to give to me, and he just one or two takes knocked it out every time and delivered what it was. I mean, I know you watched it recently, and just none of that was scripted word for word. It was more of just like a storyboard that went into script and not actually scripted. But I don't really think you can tell the difference, really. It did come out very well, even if it was shot on a very cheap handy cam. I think I spent like $8 to shoot this thing. But I was in college, and money's money, and life is life, and it was what it was, and just the ability to just produce something to get something kind of going. But I think it came out pretty cool, though. I mean, you got to watch it here a few days ago, because when we threw it together, and I'm saying throw it together because we threw it together, I did all the video editing and stuff for Bedlamite, and not only is that not what I really do, he's the video editor, but I was in there for audio engineering and sound design and stuff of that nature, so I didn't really take the full magnitude of the power of video editing to it and just kind of threw it together, but I still feel it came out pretty good. So we're just taking all the footage from the initial shooting of it and just kind of starting from scratch with it, and I'm sure it'll still come across very similar because it's the same thing, but maybe some of the footage I didn't use we could end up using and stuff, so it's still going to be new. I call it a reboot, but I don't really know if that's the most accurate way to put it.
It's a remaster. You're going to remaster.
It's because there could be scenes in it that weren't in the first one, and just the whole video aspect of it should be a lot different, but it's still shot on a 720 Handycam, so.
Yeah, but it's raw, man, and it's still good. It's still very watchable.
And it's about a guy that, basically a normal functioning person of what normal is, and a typical functioning person that develops schizophrenia, and in turn he ends up killing his best friend, and kind of the psychologic.
Way to give out the ending, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Why watch it now, Nick? You just out. Literally told them the whole story of the film.
We'll cut that out. But I don't know where to go.
Still watch it. I mean, I'm interested in re-editing the footage.
I mean, it's been out for 2 years anyway. At this point, a lot of people have watched it already.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it by now,
but that's why I'm kind of
spoilers. Man.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of it's a reboot. That's why I call it a reboot, because it's been on YouTube for 2 years. I mean, I don't have 1 million views or anything of that nature by any means, but it was still a lot of fun to shoot with the idea behind trying to create a horror short without having the budget to do all different types of graphic.
I mean, some of the scariest things I ever saw were, it's all practical effects, I mean, and I think with what you made, it's more like a psychological thriller.
And I kind of feel that the low budget of the quality of it kind of matches with giving you that feel of having kind of a
gritty.
breakdown.
Gritty. It's raw.
It's gritty.
And that's kind of raw what happens in the film and stuff, and just the way he was able to deliver the things that he brought to the camera.
And you get to see Nick's acting, which is fabulous.
Not any better than my podcasting or vlogging or whatever the hell we're doing. But no,
that's what really drew me to the thing was you. Your acting.
Yeah, my acting.
It really
definitely.
just really.
I was like, who's that guy? Someone sign him.
It was an inspiration
yes,
for me.
Right.
To
I look at it as like a bald-headed Matt Damon.
He's very method.
Yeah, there's other footage out
no,
there.
but I mean, I love things like that, you know, and it deals with mental illness, and that's such a scary thing, you know. And I think I've seen a lot of movies that deal with that, and they're always scary, man. Like the mental illness thing. And I don't know why I started to think about as I watched it, and like as you're talking about it. You ever seen that movie with what is it, the Duplass guy from? Because I guess we were talking about the League earlier, and he did that movie Creep. Did you ever see Creep?
Mm-mm.
Well, it's a simple movie. There's no effects, no anything like that. It's pretty basic, and it kind of looks raw and gritty too. I mean, not as anyway. It's a little bit more professional, but it's just about this guy that puts out an ad, and he wants this like a videographer to come videotape him.
Yes.
And it's like
I'm with you
him
now,
in his
yes.
cabin.
What's it called?
It's called Creep.
Creep?
They made 2 of them. Yeah,
Like
the first.
CREEP?
Yeah,
Yes.
Creep. Yeah. Am I not saying it?
No, I was just wondering if that's what you're saying.
English. Speaking
Tomato,
English.
tomato.
Yeah,
Stropharia,
tomatoes.
Stropharia.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
whatever. Who knows what we're talking about?
but like something like that, you know, and it's just like this. As it goes, it's like a descent into his madness. He gets more and more crazy.
And that's kind of
as
what.
it goes on. And it just made me think of that when I.
And I'm hoping that while we are re-editing this film, I will be able to bring that out even more than what we were able to bring out the first time.
Yeah.
With different audio effects and screen effects, I guess, at that point, to try to bring it just a little more heavier, a little harder.
I like when they start to like, you know, you start to hear the voice and the shake comes. And those are always like.
Those are things that will definitely be in it.
And it's kind of in there. I mean, I felt it almost. Like he was such like that.
He did an
what was
awesome
his
job,
name?
dude, Johnny.
Johnny, he was so good. Like when he just that moment where you see him start to go. Was it before the laugh or after the laugh? You know, after he.
Yeah, dude, he delivered some like crazy stuff.
Yeah, it was good.
You know what I mean?
I was really impressed with the kid having no
acting
script
experience
and have no acting
Right.
experience to
And I
actually
didn't-
pull it off.
And I
I
would
think he did a great
literally,
job.
sit almost just like this with like kind of my storyboard in front of me of what my scenes in my head were going to look like, and I would just be like, you know, I want you to, you know, portray like you're slipping, like when he starts hearing the voices and stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like really, you know, project out like you're sitting on your sofa right now and somebody's talking to you now. all of a
Yeah,
sudden. So-
yeah.
And he just ripped it. Like I talked to Jerome about a month ago when this whole Stropharia thing. I mean, as far as things started about 2 months ago, but as we started the production company and as we're buying equipment and kind of going through everything, and I really liked Bedlamite, but it wasn't done to its full potential. And I was talking to him about maybe we should just like actually script it and shoot it again.
Yeah.
You know, but like I haven't talked to Johnny in a while, not for any particular reason. Just you kind of lose contact with people sometimes, and so like I'd have to find somebody else, and I don't know if anyone else could really bring what he brought to the camera, especially not really being led by words, but just by me saying, "Hey, I need you to bring this feeling to the table."
Yeah.
And he rocked it out. Like it was really cool. So we decided, all right, we're not going to just reshoot it and start from scratch. We're just going to take the content that we have, the days and days of filming that we did for that, and just kind of recompile that footage and more of a professional.
Like a remaster.
You know what I mean?
Just take what you got, add to it.
And just really
and
kind of
polish it
blow
up.
it up and make
Yeah.
it a lot better.
Yeah,
Of a thing. Less of a student film and more of what we do as a production company here.
Well, I think anything else you could do to it would be fine. And I think it's good on its own, and you know, just to like jazz it up, make it, you know, put some pizzazz on it. Like
The equipment that I had for producing, you know, the storyboarding for the music and stuff for it, composing the music for the film, like I didn't really have a whole lot of my personal equipment to do so outside of like playing the guitar or what have you. So a lot of it was done kind of in class, and when you're in that type of scenario, you know, like if you go back and watch the original, the voiceover wasn't captured with a microphone. It was captured with, you know, your Apple earbuds. You have the little microphone here.
Oh, wow.
That's how I did the voiceover. And then
In class, whispering it in the microphone.
well, no, I did do it at home. It was done at home. And then the intro song, when he's running in the beginning of it, I didn't have an audio interface at the time. So how I captured it, I just ran it raw into my laptop with the same microphone headset scenario. And I taped up the earbuds just in case I would have any feedback. And I actually dropped that mic into the hole of the acoustic guitar and laid it down that way. So like, and it still sounded good, you know, but like I'm very anxious to get back in there and rescore the film with all that I have now to really have a full-blown production studio to score it.
I think you should, man.
Like that.
I think it's a great idea. I think you did a great job, and even to maybe do something like it again, I think would be amazing. Like you said, you'd have to do a little bit more scripting and maybe find someone.
Well, there'll definitely be more horror films, short films to come from Stropharia. That's kind of my genre of what I enjoy and what's in my head. You know, we'll have a lot of documentaries. We have documentary on one half, and then, you know, I like a lot of horror. So like there'll be, as more and more projects come up, and budget's a lot different now than what back then, and to be able to actually get like some really good, you know, I'm a B-movie junkie. I love my gore fest and stuff, and that's like my next project that I'm working on trying to figure out, you know, just writing the script to that. But Bedlamite, we're going to start editing that. Probably, we're on Thursday right now, so probably sometime next week before we start kind of messing with that footage, with everything, with the holistic concept going on and doing these podcast videos and everything. There's only so much time to do so, but hopefully next week we'll start compiling that. We'll have some fresh trailers. Like I did 2 trailers for that back then as well.
Yeah.
But like, so we'll start kind of from scratch in that
You'll
part
find
of it.
You'll find
So we'll start probably like in 2 weeks. I would hope within 2 weeks we will have the first trailer coming out for that, and then the time it takes to re-edit all of that. We're in off season right now, so we have some downtime. But as season starts to kick back in, we're gonna have to have it finished before then to kind of go through all that stuff of it. So,
Bedlamite, man.
Bedlamite.
Coming out this summer. We're in summer, right?
Schizophrenia. I don't know what month is it.
Scariest movie
Still
ever.
July.
Yeah, no.
You're gonna freak me out, man.
It was September.
It's almost August. It is August.
I'm going on vacation in September. I can't stop thinking about September.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's in a nutshell of kind of what we have going on and stuff. If there's any type of maybe short film ideas that you guys may have out there, always feel free to, you know, talk to us. You know, send us a message. Let us know what you think. Whether the content's garbage or it's great, you know, let us know. And as always, please subscribe and like our videos, and we'll check in again next week.
That wraps it for podcast number 2.
Good job.